Roblox is really getting stale right now, and you know, I really wish there's any actually fun and passionate game in this platform. Oh cool, an actually fun and passionate Roblox game. It's exactly what I wanted. I hope nothing bad is gonna happen to it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Hey everyone, it's been a very long time, hasn't it? So before we start the video, I gotta address the elephant in the room. That being the controversy behind Grace and its creator, Simon. So just to be clear, I do not condone or support Simon's behavior, and this video is mostly for fun and will not cover any of the drama that has happened around Grace. So all of that aside, now that Grace has been discontinued, and there's news that the devs are working on making the game open source, there's probably a chance that Grace might be back in the hands of the community. Either way, I'm redesigning all of the Grace entities to show love for the game itself and its insane community. Note that these redesigns aren't trying to surpass all of the current designs in the game, and as previously stated, is mostly just for fun and for the love of the characters. I am in no way a professional artist and it's just an amateur, which I failed to address in my old Ban video. Anyways, hope y'all like it. So to start off my Carnation redesign, I have to know what the character is all about. And in the Grace lore, every entity is a representation of a sin, taint, or scar. For Carnation specifically, it represents misinformation. Knowing this, I started off experimenting with its color palette by giving it a purple and pink colors for the leaf petals and adding extra white petals around it to match with the flower heads in Carnation's domain. I also gave them a purple color palette to further emphasize their deceptive nature. I then added extra stems sticking out of the pink petals to add some details. I also added a really chunky stem that's attached to its back as to kind of fit them better with the entities that are related to Carnation in some way, like the flower heads, stem, and snap. In addition to the stem, I added a purple flame trail on the stem because, well, honestly I just thought it looks cool. And here is my redesign. With Slugfish's redesign, I really want to focus the greed and fish aspect of the character. After all, it is a representation of the sin of greed and gluttony. So I first started off working on the eyes and making it look like it's constantly bulging out and be completely blinded by pure greed. I then gave the hollow eye socket a bright yellow color and yellow liquid spilling out of it to fit the theme of greed and gluttony. I also give Slugfish a more aquatic sea creature look by adding fins and gills to its body and even put yellow liquids pouring down on its gills as a little detail. I also made its skin more dried up looking to show how this thing has spent most of its time on land despite being a slugfish and somehow still be able to survive for long periods of time. Seriously, this dude is just built different. And lastly, I added those fin things on the tail of the tadpoles to its tail as a finishing touch. And here is my redesign. For Elkman's redesign, I've decided to lean more on the elk aspect of him and actually give him an elk skull for a head. Since Elkman represents lustful thoughts, I thought it would be a really fitting and cool idea for Elkman to have his skull cracked open to reveal a rotting brain inside of it, much like your average dirty-minded gooner. I then gave Elkman a very prominent and long antlers since it's completely absent from his original design. I also added some details on his eyes to show how the corruption within his mind is literally leaking out of his eyes and forehead. Lastly, I made his body extremely malnourished and gave him long spindly-like arms to match one of the members of the Lust Trio. Wait, no, please, no! Anyways, here's my redesign. Okay, so before we start this section off, the reason why I put Slide and Heat's redesign into one art and section is because, well, Heat is literally just a recolor of Slide, and there's no denying that. So to start off, I started drawing Heat's redesign first since he represents a far more niche sin than Slide, which is expediency. Because of this, I ended up not making that many changes to their design. I only made Heat a lot more angular and spiky with the star-shaped pupil in the middle of their pulsating eye to represent taking the morally right path instead of neglecting it. And lastly, I added posture-inspired hands because why not? Now moving on to Slide, I have far more creative freedom with this entity's design, since it represents a more well-known sin, or taint I guess. Because of this, I wanted Slide to have a more cartoonish crackhead look to its design. I tried to achieve this look by giving Slide a spiral-looking eye instead of the pulsating one. I then gave it some quirky looking eyelashes and visible blood vessel. Lastly, I added a far less detailed looking hands to Slide as a finishing touch. And here is my redesign. Dozer, Dozer, Dozer. Man, do I absolutely hate this egotistical, self-centered, yellow-faced bastard so much. Many of my death in grace and reprieve has been caused by this yellow bastard, and I'm really sick and tired of seeing this man be the fan favorite of the fandom. This might be a hot take, but I much prefer my goat Cuckoo over this guy. Little side tangent aside. For Dozer, I decided to make his design emphasize more on what sin he represents. And what's a better way to represent pride other than making him an authoritative figure like a king? And even though I do know that the official design of Dozer on the Mayhem game mode and the document clearly gives him a king-like look to him, I want to make my own take on the design by giving him a crown so big and oversized to represent his large ego, and a star in the middle of the crown as a little homage to the nightcap. I gave him a yellow and white color scheme to make him look more royal-like. And last but not least, I changed the little effect around him to have a more star-shaped look. And here's my redesign. And that is all the redesigns for this video. Let me know your thoughts on my redesign and feel free to give some feedbacks on the comment section down below. I love reading comments on my videos, and it's great having discussion on the interest that I and many people like. Let me know if y'all want me to redesign the modifier entities next. This has been Calum, and I'll see y'all in the next video.